The preface to this psalm, Psalm 56, says that this is a miktam of David when the Philistines seized him at Gath. Notice this. David doesn't say, if I'm afraid, if on the off chance I'm ever afraid, in those rare instances when I experience fear. He says, when I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. He says, be merciful to me, be gracious to me, God, because people are trampling on me. All day long they trample on me. They fight me. I'm under siege. Notice what this miktam is. This is the song he prayed when he was being seized by the Philistines at Gath. It was a bad moment in the psalmist's life, in David's life. It was a tough moment. It was a fearful moment. When I'm afraid, I will put my trust in you. What time I am afraid is the way we memorized it in our old King James days back in the 50s and 60s. As I was growing up, what time I am afraid, I will put my trust in thee. I trust in God without a fear, even though I'm afraid. That's paradoxical stuff, isn't it? It's the fear that casts out all fear. It's the trust that dispels all fear. And he says, what can mere mortals, what can mere men, what can mere people, what can flesh do to me? Nothing. Oh, I guess they could put a sword through me. I guess they could bleed me out. I guess they could kill me. What can they do to me? I mean, really, what harm can they bring to me? Even though they seek to injure me without cause. Even though their thoughts are against me. Even though they're plotting against me. Even though they band together against me. Even though they watch my steps. You know, some people are just so afraid they're being watched all the time. I think, well, at least you're being noticed. I'm not that worried about people watching me. I mean, I suppose that I could, there might be a slight paranoid bone in my body somewhere, but for the most part, just, well, okay. I hope you're getting a big kick out of it. They're watching me. They've waited for me. So turn it on them, God. Turn it on them. Let them hit the brick wall of your wrath. Realize the futility of their comings and goings and their plots. If you scroll down to verse 8, you know the upside of being watched. He says, you've kept track of my tossings. You even put my tears in a bottle, God. You put my tears in a bottle. You haven't wasted one single tear. Everything's in your book. And you're going to turn those enemies back. In the day I call, it is an accomplished fact, even though it may appear that they're still active. I know this about you, God. You're for me. I praise you. I trust you without a fear, without a legitimate fear, without a real fear. And again he says, what can man do to me? What can flesh do to me? What can mere mortals do to me? They're nothing compared to you, God. Therefore, I'm going to worship you. I'm going to bow down before you. I'm going to render thanks to you. You've delivered my soul from death, God. You've kept my feet from falling. And it's for a purpose. That I might walk before you in the light of life. And so the message today is, what time I am afraid, I'm going to trust in God. Not if I ever fear, but when fear tries to creep into my life, when fear tries to take control of my life, Fear can be a great motivator. Fear is like anger in a way. It can be, in fact, they're very connected. It can be a great motivator. It can be a great energizer. It can call us to understand who we are in comparison to something far greater than ourselves. But fear is a very poor controller. It's a very poor master of our lives. And it's really an emotion that should be one of those passing through emotions that prompts us to trust and love and grace and redemptive acts in the world. What time I am afraid, I will put my trust in you. God bless you. Have a great day. Join us next time we're on. And I never know exactly when that's going to be. So the Lord be with you. Amen.